Cowboys idea of the day. Let's go on HBO's Hard Knocks. No, let's not. Mike Fisher reporting from Frisco, home of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm trying to be quiet. There's a pool party going on next door, and they're my friends. But it gets a little loud. But yet I'm afraid they're going to think that I'm too loud because I also get a little loud. So we're all trying to make the peace here. Hard Knocks is very clever and interesting and popular show. And it is a great idea for the Dallas Cowboys to be on 2021 Hard Knocks if they want to market the brand. Great idea. Or if they want to sell t-shirts. Great idea. Or if they want to squeeze our old friend Dave Campo into a wetsuit to go for a dolphin swim. Great idea. But it is a terrible way to run this football team at this time. NFL.com did the math on what the rules are, how you qualify or can get out of it. And they came up with, I think, they're saying 5 teams are vulnerable or deserving, because what an honor it is to be a football team on a game show in the middle of where you're trying to accomplish the most and do the most work. And let's turn into a game show. It's one thing to turn it into a circus when some ground rules have been established about how you do your football business. The Super Bowl Cowboys in the 90s, there was a circus atmosphere to a lot of that, but they were also establishing things that they would accomplish on the field. This club hasn't done that. Not under Mike McCarthy, and not for a long time previous. This group of players haven't done that. And obviously, they're led by an ownership group that haven't done it in a long time either. I think that the team doesn't have a choice. That the NFL just tells you, hey, it's your turn. And you can imagine, from a business perspective, why HBO, who I learned today, I didn't really know this, but HBO is owned by AT&T. Is that right? And AT&T is partners with the Cowboys, and it all makes business sense, terrific business sense, terrible football sense. The football side of that building should beg, plead, and even demand to not be involved in this clown show. And I'm not saying the production of Hard Knocks is a clown show. I'm saying your participation turns you into a clown. They do a great job. You turn yourself into a clown, into a performer, into an actor. That's the problem. Whose job is it to say yes to this? Charlotte Jones, I guess, should say yes. That'd be fine. Bink. Hello. Charlotte Jones should say yes. That's her job. Marketing's her job. Jerry Jr., that's part of his job. He can say yes. McCarthy needs to say no. Will McClay needs to say no. Steven needs to say no. And then Jerry, who has over the years often talked to me about businessman and sportsman. And I'll ask him, which is more important to you, to be a businessman or to be a sportsman? And he'll say, Mr. Mack. By the way, regarding my Jerry Jones imitation, which I think is terrible, but you apparently find it entertaining. The top 10 Jerryisms are coming up on this here channel, all driven, of course, by the revelation of Jerry's latest, which is about chickens and owls having sex. Mr. Mike, I couldn't even look at myself, in the mirror, as a businessman, if I couldn't look at myself in the mirror as a sportsman, and I couldn't look at myself in the mirror as a sportsman if I didn't look at myself in the mirror as a businessman. In other words, both. Kind of like Dion's Pizza. NFL.com ranks the attractiveness of the potential teams involved, and guess what? I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close. It's the Cowboys. For every possible reason, and then on top of everything else, Dak Prescott, and COVID, and all of it, all the normal stuff, and then all the extraordinary stuff that goes on around here. It's a great TV show. If your priority is to make a TV show. Here's the NFL.com writer quote. The Cowboys sell the consistent primetime love and endless talk show segments provided to the various dramas unfolding at, he calls it, Jera World. I hate that. Prove that the Cowboys move the needle from a business standpoint, and NFL Films and HBO want as many people as possible to watch their show. If the Cowboys are indeed the team in August, he adds, it will likely be because the Jones family wants it. Aha! I don't know if that's true. I don't know how anybody would know that. I'm not aware that that's how it works. But I hope that is the way it works, because that means that the Joneses can get it if they want it, which would also, I would think, give them the authority to say, no, Jesus, no. No to the presence of cameras and microphones forcing bogus posing, fake conversations, and convoluted, fake, and bogus evaluations. I'm going to quote an old Cowboy staffer who told me that the last time the Cowboys were on the show, quote, you're sitting in a meeting room wondering if you can say what needs to be said, concerned that you might be saying too much, making sure you don't slouch or pick your nose. It's not a natural football environment. Now, that's a funny quote, but think about it, it's true. Think about if cameras followed you and your spouse everywhere you went, all day long, and they were in charge of editing, not you. Would your marriage be a natural marriage for that month? Impossible. Impossible. You wouldn't be you. Your spouse wouldn't be your spouse. You wouldn't act right to each other. You wouldn't act normal to each other. Cameras and microphones everywhere. And they get to edit it. If you're lucky, what was the Amazon one? At all costs, out of bounds, at any, all or nothing. If you're lucky, you're Sean Lee. And they edit it so at the end of that docu-series, the season's over, and Sean Lee back in the film room. And that's how it closes. And it leaves an everlasting impression. And it's an accurate impression. I'm not saying it's not accurate. Sean Lee in the film room is accurate. But it didn't show that down the hallway there might have been some other guy in the film room who the audience didn't know who he was. So what's the point of showing him? It created an image of Sean Lee, not that it's an inaccurate one, but you can understand the pitfalls. Let's pick that guy. He looks a certain way, he acts a certain way. Let's make him the closing dramatic star of the show, not that guy over there. Let's not do a fat guy. Let's not do a backup. Let's not do somebody nobody's heard of. Oh, we got footage of Sean Lee in the film room. That's a closer. That's drama. It's not natural. It's not a natural football environment. Indeed. And the Cowboys, after 25 years of being the marketing king, but a playoff-related court jester, haven't had enough of unnatural football environments? Hard Knocks makes TV stars out of relative nobodies. Oh, if you can play the guitar, you got a chance to be a star in Hard Knocks. Even if you can't play football, if you can play the guitar, you got a shot at TV stardom. Hard Knocks makes coaches issue staged remarks. There's a camera and there's a microphone, and they're editing it. And we're in a staff meeting, about who we're going to cut and who we're going to keep. I can't tell the truth. I don't want the other teams to hear the truth. I might not want the kids' parents to hear the truth. Or I might tell the truth and expose something that we don't want exposed here. Stage remarks instead of frank ones. It steals focus from the real training camp task at hand. Remember what that is, Cowboys? Remember what the real task at hand here is? So NFL.com says Jacksonville Jaguars want to do it. They're petitioning to do it. And I can see that. They need some of what the Cowboys have had for 50 years. They need a piece of that. Plus they have Urban Meyer, plus they're going to have Trevor Lawrence. Okay, that's good TV. Good for them. Let them have it. God bless you, Urban Meyer. God bless you, Trevor Lawrence. Congratulations, Jaguars. You have the vote of Cowboy Nation. Take it. There are times to prance and pose for the TV cameras. We try to do it real here, right? But I mean, don't think I don't kind of go, okay, well, is my hair okay? This isn't completely candid. I got to make sure my hair is okay. Sometimes I even shave. One of these days, I'm going to put plants in these planters. But this is the real. It's winter. I'm not putting plants in the planters in winter. Look at 1, 2, 3 beautiful planters. Nothing in them. This is real. There are times to prance and there are times to pose for the TV cameras, and maybe for a Cowboys franchise basking in a trio of Super Bowl wins, there was once a time that existed maybe then. But today, your coach has achieved nothing. Your ownership has achieved nothing in a long time. You're coming off a 6-10 season. You haven't signed your franchise quarterback, and all you're doing is surfing off your America's team ancestors. The truth is, even without Hard Knocks, these Dallas Cowboys already do enough prancing and posing as it is. Fish out.